Hey guys, it's Hannah and this is Bookwormstalk, and today I'm going to review Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. This is a chapbook, which is like a collection of poetry, and it was super popular. I think it won a couple awards. It's a New York Times bestseller, and I'd always passed it in the store, and then one day I was just like, I just need to pick it up. So I did, and I read it. Quick mention, the elephant in the room once again. I'm filming this video pretty far in advance, so when you see this, my new bookshelf will have already been redesigned, but just keep in mind that I'm not redesigning it again. This is just the previous disaster of my bookshelf. So that's why it's like awkward. Anyway, I want to kind of stagger the book reviews. So my chapbook reviews are a little bit different than my regular book reviews. I tend to go through and pick up different poems that I particularly loved and really emphasize them and maybe read them to you depending on their length. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to find my poems that I really liked and I'm going to read some to you. Some of you guys say that I have a nice reading voice, so I hope. I have a fire station near my house and I hate it. I first off would like to say that I recommend reading this book in one entire sitting. It's like 200 pages, but most of them are really short, so like it's not a lot of reading. It very much feels like this, kind of like stages of life for the writer. It very much feels like a confessional. So the book is kind of designated into little like chunks or sections. The first one is called The Hurting, The Loving, The Breaking, The Healing. I love that it feels like this journey without feeling like a journey. Like when I first read it, I didn't realize that I was reading it like that, and I didn't come to recognize it until I was finished with it. And then it just, it was so powerful. I will say that I didn't particularly care for like the first two sections that much. There were a couple that were real winners as far as poems go, but really my love was in the last two little bits, which are the breaking and the healing. Ugh. I started doing like a star system in my notes of the poems that I loved, that way I could remember to go back. And then when one star wasn't enough, I did double star, and I ended up with quadruple stars next to my super favorites. So I'm gonna read from 1 star to 4 stars. People go, but how they left always stays. That on a personal note feels so true. Hello, kitty. Do you want to go visit boyfriend? He's in the other room. You tell me to quiet down because my opinions make me less beautiful. But I was not made with a fire in my belly so I could be put out. I was not made with a lightness on my tongue so I could be easy to swallow. I was made heavy, half blade and half silk, difficult to forget and not easy for the mind to follow. Why that was a 1 star baffles me. I think it was right at the beginning when 1 star meant super good, and then the system got fucked up. Year changed to a 4. None of these poems have names, so that's why I'm not listing the names. Sorry if that's confusing. You whisper, I love you. What you mean is, I don't want you to leave. This one's a little bit longer. You were the most beautiful thing I'd ever felt till now, and I was convinced you remained the most beautiful thing I'd ever feel. Do you know how limiting that is? To think at such a ripe young age I'd experienced the most exhilarating person I'd ever meet. How I'd spend the rest of my life just settling. To think I'd tasted the rawest form of honey and everything else would be refined and synthetic. That nothing beyond this point would add up. That all the years beyond me could not combine themselves to be sweeter than you. And some of these are accompanied with illustrations as well, which I thought was very a nice addition into a poetry book. You are snakeskin, and I keep shedding you somehow. My mind is forgetful, every exquisite detail of your face. The letting go has become the forgetting, which is the most pleasant and saddest thing to have happened. I have so many, like even my starred ones, I've realized there's so many. You tell me I am not like most girls, and learn to kiss me with your eyes closed. Something about the phrase, something about how I have to be unlike the women I call sisters in order to be wanted, makes me want to spit your tongue out. Like I am supposed to be proud you picked me, as if I should be relieved you think I am better than them. I'm confident I am over you. So much that mornings I wake up with a smile on my face, my hands pressed together, thanking the universe for pulling you out of me. Thank God, I cry. Thank God you left. I would not be the empire I am today if you had stayed. But then, there are some nights I imagine what I might do if you showed up. How if you walked into the room this very second, every awful thing you've ever done would be tossed out the closet window, and all the love would rise up again. It would pour through my eyes as if it never really left in the first place. As if it's been practicing how to stay silent so long, only so it could be this loud on your arrival. Can someone explain that? How even when the love leaves, it doesn't leave. How even when I am so past you, I am so helplessly brought back to you. This one has this illustration right here. Loneliness is a sign you are in desperate need of yourself. That is one of my favorite parts in this book because it really spoke to me and I feel like it would speak to many. Loneliness is a sign you are in desperate need of yourself. You are in the habit of codepending on people to make up for what you think you lack. Who tricked you into believing another person was meant to complete you when the most they can do is compliment? That. As you can tell, these ones that I'm like super excited about are like my 4-star ones. This one also has a little illustration with it. I think this one's called Women of Color because it has a little dash at the end. I think that's what they mean. My issue with what they consider beautiful is their concept of beauty centers around excluding people. I find hair beautiful. When a woman wears it in a garden on her skin, that is the definition of beauty. Big hooked noses pointing upward to the sky, like they're rising to the occasion. Skin the color of earth. My ancestors planted crops to feed a lineage of women with thighs thick as tree trunks. Eyes like almonds, deeply hooded with conviction, and rivers of Punjab flow through my bloodstream. So don't tell me my women aren't as beautiful as the ones in your country. Our backs tell stories no books have the spine to carry. This one has space. Do you see it? And this one says, and it's so short, but it hit me and I think it got me teary-eyed when I was reading it. You are your own soulmate. Repeat it again. You are your own soulmate. It's this idea that you don't need to be completed by another person. I don't personally believe that there's no such thing as soulmates. I do believe in soulmates, but I like what it implies. It implies that you don't need another person to complete you. And in saying that I believe in soulmates doesn't mean that I believe that you're completed by someone else. It just means that there are people in the world that understand you like others just aren't able to because they're a piece of you. I like that sentiment. This one I wrote to myself, it feels like a personal message. So let's see. You have to stop searching for why at some point. You have to leave it alone. And this next one I just wrote same next to. You must want to spend the rest of your life with yourself first. Wow. Tears. I wasn't supposed to cry. You must want to spend the rest of your life with yourself first. That one's my favorite. The whole poem. Whole chapbook. This one. That's my favorite for sure. I really, really did enjoy this chapbook. I think I liked it because there was that journey. Like reading them now, because I hadn't read them all in one sitting, they didn't have as much impact with me reciting it for you as reading it with the context of the poem before, the poem before, the poem before, and they all build upon each other to make each one more significant. So I think that that's really, really important to just really try to read this in like one day. It's really easy to do. I did it in like a 2-hour, 3-hour period, easy. And that was like with distractions and stuff like that. So I highly recommend this book. I will have a link where you can purchase it down below. It is an affiliate link, which means I'll make approximately like 3 cents off of the link if you choose to purchase through there. But otherwise, the name is listed down below, so you can copy and paste and search on Amazon on your own if you would like. I actually would personally recommend to buy this in physical format because of the illustrations. I feel like they might be lost when it comes to like reading it in an ebook or something like that. Alright, but that is everything. I have a proper book review coming up for you guys in a couple weeks, and it is on Fahrenheit 451, which, spoiler alert, I really liked. Side note, if you guys don't know, I have a Facebook group where we can all like gather and talk about books and poems and anything that we like, and recommend books to each other and ask for recommendations, all that stuff. It is Bookwormstalk, all one word, couldn't fit on one slide, on Facebook. The link will be down below. Down in the below. Hey guys, it's Hannah and this is Bookworms Talk, and today I'm going to great start.